Good evening, everybody. Hope you liked that intro. I had another song, Indian chant picked out, but it was copyrighted, so I purchased that one right before I came on. Tonight, we're going to talk about the indigenous people, Indians, that are missing all over America. The numbers are staggering. Um, they're really just it's epidemic. They're calling it, and in Montana. They claim to be epidemic even in Montana and western United States. They're being targeted, falling victim of violence at alarming rates. They said our women are being taken from us. Law enforcement is stalling. Reservations are breaking over this. When your women goes missing and reports are filed, yet days go by and there's little action by law enforcement. And I think a lot of it is because these reservations are so huge that it's amazing how much area. I'm going to show you a film about a girl that we're going to cover tonight. Her name is Ashley Loring. Heavy Runner is her name. Now, a lot of these you can see they have Indian names. And this, I had to break up this video in 4 or 5 parts because my software doesn't allow me to run it all at once. And she was missing in June of 2017. So it's what went on is it's horrible. The whole situation is.
Ashley! Ashley!
In our culture, you call your spirit back or you call theirs back by yelling 4 times.
Ashley!
Where is she now? And that's why we're doing what we're doing, because we don't know. You know, you have that hope she's alive, but all these rumors, this is what it brings us to.
Ashley. Ashley is very outgoing. She's friendly. She's so feisty. It's actually cute. Ashley's so funny. She's pretty amazing.
So with the police, the frustration with them is they looked at her as somebody who would just head out. They told us she was old enough that she can go do whatever she wants. She was over the age of 18, and I just feel like she wasn't a priority to them.
Now, I'm going to break this up when we talk in between. Did you see that at the bottom of the screen? The search area for that tribe on that reservation is the size of Delaware. So you imagine that. It's mostly desert, it's plains, it's in the plains, so it's abandoned, it's rural, they got creeks, got all kinds of animals. So, that is what they're dealing with, and they feel like the tribal police are not taking it serious. They say, she probably left on her own. She left on her own. And instead of getting out there and searching, but the amount of area, the vastness of it, I think that's a problem in itself. We'll go to part 2.
Gathering data is a challenge. You know, I think that's a challenge in any area of law enforcement, but we have particular issues in Indian country just because we have so many sovereigns and so many governments.
I can't think of a single person I know, an Indigenous person, that doesn't have some sort of experience, whether it was a aunt, whether it was a cousin, these are grandma, these are mom. This is a daughter, this is someone who was loved and living, and this is someone who, they were possibly invisible in life, but they don't have to be invisible in death.
It becomes a population that you can prey on because no one does anything about it, because there's no deterrence, because there's no enforcement and no prosecution.
Now, this last bill that was passed by Congress, it was a bipartisan bill, and it was approved and signed by President Trump just the other day, is going to make a difference. I believe it will make a difference, but they still, I think what they need more than anything is to allow other law enforcement to come in on the reservation and help with the searches. But the problem is, I see what that is, that they don't trust other law enforcement. I mean, if you think about that, the United States has been putting them on reservations and making promises for years and years, and just frankly never have come across there. And I used to get offended at that, but I've read a lot of stuff on what the United States basically did in the past, and it's shameful. It really is.
Can I share something that I learned today?
Yes.
Do you need to turn the microphone around a little bit?
You can hear. I think.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Is that green light on?
Yeah, the green light's
Okay,
on.
go
I was doing some research to kind of help Tommy out a little bit, and in 1879, the first boarding school opened for Indian children, and they were taken from their parents, either by the government or the parents were lied to get the children to go to boarding schools. And in the early 1900s, there were 20,000 Indian children that were in boarding schools, mostly in the 350 boarding schools in the North and the West. There were a couple in the South, but most of them were up in the North and the West. And the children were punished. If the families did not allow the children to go to these schools, they were punished with no food, or they were even sometimes jailed. By 1925, there was 60,000, at least 60,000 or more children who had been taken from their parents and put in these schools. At the same time that they were doing this, they were slowly taking away the Indians' land, so that by 1930, they had 2/3 of the land that they used to have. It wasn't the only place it was being done. For other native, in other countries, they were doing the very same thing. In 1928, the truth came out about the children, about the abuse and the death. At just Carlisle School, there's over 230 graves. And a lot of the children were taken on what they called outings. And you would think an outing would be like a picnic or something. Well, an outing was where some family was paying them $5 a month to clean their house or work in the farm or and if they died, they just either buried them where they died or just left them there. And so these parents are trying to now find the ancestors are trying, the ones that are alive today are trying to find those children. And they have asked, if you know an Indian, it would be somebody, that's a little bit older. If you know anyone that was in boarding schools in these places where the Indian children were taken, talk to them and find out, anything that they know. And then there's a group that you can get in touch with. Y'all, it wasn't until 1976, when the Indian Child Welfare Act took place, that forcibly removing Native children from their parents ended. 1976. Until then,
Wow.
They could go in and remove the children just because they had too many people in the house, or if they felt like the children were being neglected, or if they were they just wanted to get the children out. They were trying to make them from going, they called them savages, and they were trying to take them from being savages to make them like the white people, and they were trying to erase the culture. So when the Carlisle school closed and a lot of the other schools closed, they started going to adoption. So they would go in and forcibly take children away from their homes, tell the white people that were adopting them that the children had been abandoned. And this is not true. The Indian people do not abandon their children. I imagine there's, some that do. Listen, I know when I say that, I know what I'm talking about. My natural mother abandoned me when I was 3 months old. Most mothers don't do that.
Well, we know somebody that adopted an Indian child.
Yes, but
they had to jump through all types of hoops with the tribal council and everything. I mean, it is a big deal.
But if you meet an Indian, and especially an older Indian, talk to them about if they knew anybody or had any family members that went to boarding schools. They are trying to do a history for these people so that they've got history about what happened to their kinfolk. So that was one thing. My heart is for children. It always has been, and children and old people are my favorite.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah,
and I wanted to say too that particularly in the United States and Canada, indigenous people face the high rates of violence, abuse, rape, murder, and disappearance. One 2002 study found that Native women are 10 times more likely to be murdered than non-Native Americans. Native women are raped at a rate of 4 times the national average, according to the data, and more than 1 in 3 have been a victim of rape or attempted rape. That I'm telling you, and it got down here. I saw here it said the report more than 1.5 million of today's Indian women have experienced violence in their lifetime. 730,000 of them alone in 2015. That is just, it's just beyond me.
Manuel is in Canada today. It's his birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
But
Manuel.
he says Canadians have been paying reparations for the terrible things others did to the indigenous population 100 or 200, 300 years ago. And I have heard in that report I read, there was an Indian woman who quoted and said that like New Zealand and Canada and places like that have attempted to apologize and to make restitution for what had happened.
Yeah, within their community,
but sure. America has not.
Yeah. Okay, which one are we on now? Did we go to number 2 yet? I think I played number.
You played number 2.
Okay, let's go to number 3.
She was really outgoing, and everywhere we went, she'd see people, and she'd always be telling them, "I love you, and Jesus loves you." I would go downtown. I start looking at everybody, and in my mind, I'd be saying, "I wonder if you did it. Did you do it?"
She was frozen to the mountain, her face. I hated everybody. I was on a pity trip. Why me and all this, Think about it all the time. I just figured, I told myself, grandfather needs another angel. So I took her.
There was a lady, and she was a white lady, and there were so many people looking for her right off the bat. I mean, there were so many.
Now we're talking about Monica. Monica is just another person they were talking about in their community that was kidnapped and killed, a young girl apparently. And then at the last there, you saw the family of the girl that we're featuring tonight going through this area, and people are throwing money in a blanket to help them look for her. Okay, let's go. Let me see. I think this is the like.
And we couldn't even get not even half of a quarter of who was looking for her to come and help us, to come and help, my family here.
You know something, you think you know something, please report it. And help with the searches. They need help. They need help, please.
This family was talking about their daughter going to the store 18 years ago and never coming home. That was probably my hardest point, was right there. Thinking like, holy crap, is that gonna be us? We need to get everybody involved now. These police need to step up their game and get out there and help us, because, you know, I don't want my family to have to deal with this every day for that many years. I don't want to be searching years and years later.
I remember this time that I told Ashley, I was like, we have to stick together. It's just me and you here. And I told her that I would never leave her. And if she was going to go anywhere, I would find her. I was only 8 years old when I told Ashley that. And Ashley was 5.
Say her name! Ashley! Say her name! Ashley! Say her name! Ashley! Say her name! Say her name! Say her name! Say her name!
You know, it's sad. That actually was put out by AP News, and it went on and on. And there's a pretty good, about 15-minute video by The Guardian, if you want to look at it. But just to show you, I mean, these are some of the posters that are out there, and this to others. And they got the face, they got their hand over their face as a reminder that I guess nobody says anything. This was, I thought they were talking about the Trail of Tears in British Columbia, the highway in Canada, that so many women have become missing. And you notice this goes back to 1969 when they first started talking about this Highway of Tears, not Trail of Tears, but Highway of Tears. This goes back 1969. So this going on, that I think a lot of this might be truck drivers and pickup people, or maybe they've had several serial killers involved that are involved in the trucking industry. You know, somebody will go and pick them one up, and whatever, and then kill them. This one is another they're doing is No More Stolen Sisters. This is an organization that is forming in the Indian community. But tonight we want to feature one of those, and the one they were talking about is Ashley. Ashley Heavy Runner Loring. That's her Indian name, Heavy Runner. Her award has been offered for Bureau of Indian Affairs Justice Service for information related to where and about Ashley Heavy Runner Loring is now. She's 20 at the time. She's 20 years old, Native American from Blackfeet Reservation. Fair skin, small, petite frame, 5'2", 90 pounds. Wow, she was skinny. Light brown, long hair, straight hair, brown eyes. Last seen June the 13th, 2017. And, you know, regardless if she is deceased or not, we want to try to be able to put the people involved in this type of thing in jail. And I don't, you know, there's so many of them. I didn't read one case that maybe one case I saw that somebody was actually arrested. So, you know, it's really just sad. It really, really is sad that they can't get the enforcement out of this. And I think, you know what, I hope not, but I was talking to somebody about it in the YouTube industry, and they were saying this would probably be the video with your less people watching it. Less people. I mean, people go in, the less time they watch. Once you start talking about Indians and the people that are not involved and not in their community, then people will just click out of it. It's almost like the out of sight, out of mind type deal. If it's not in my neighborhood, I don't want to know about it. If it's not, down the road, I don't want to know about it. And
that's what's wrong right now. That
Yeah.
is what's wrong. People would rather be on their phones and on the internet, and they don't even want to deal with their kids. And that's what's wrong in America. We don't want to get involved.
yeah, well, it's like, and it's not because, I understand in a lot of areas in inner city, people don't want to get involved in shootings. And if they see something in their neighborhood because they're afraid of repercussions on them. But nowadays, people don't even want to get involved at all. I mean, you can walk down the road and see somebody. There's all kinds of stuff. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate that.
Okay, wait a minute. Somebody said,
Yes, they have their own police
the
force.
only reason why you ain't upset right now with Suzanne Morphy case, because you know some stuff.
Who said that?
Karen, I don't know if she's asking as a statement or what. She didn't put it in all caps.
The only reason you ain't upset right now about Suzanne Morphy case, it's because I'll tell you, Karen, there's a lot of other missing people out here that nobody's talking about. Indians and everything else. And if something happens in the Morphy case, I'll report on it. But the problem is, and I'll tell you this right now. If I report on the Morphy case, my views go through the roof. You can go to my, you can go and look at my videos. The ones that I report on the Morphy case, they're through the roof. I'll get 10,000 views on one thing. But am I doing justice? Thank you. You, Wisdom Warrior. I sure appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. Where did that go? Well, okay, right here. It's not fair to all these other people that are missing that we concentrate only on Susan Morphy. Sure, I'm following that case still. If anything breaks on it, then I'll be in reporting with the rest of them. But there are so many other people out there that are missing, and just the families don't know where they are. And you know what? Sure, I look at the stats, and thank you again, Wisdom Warrior. I sure appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. I look at the stats and I think, man, I could stay on this one thing. And I could get all kinds of views. But and that's, hey, I'm not upset, Karen. I'm not upset at all. I'm just trying to explain. I want to share other cases too, because there's so many out there that their mamas and daddies are home saying, what happened? Where are they? What happened to them? I mean, and I'm going to tell you, I get an average of about 1,000 to 1,500 views per video for the times that I do not headline with something about the Morphy case. When I headline about the Morphy case, I get 5,000 to 10,000 views. And, it's tempting. It's tempting to stay only on the Morphy case because, more views, the more YouTube wants to give me money. And but it's not fair, and that's not what the channel's about. I'm trying to build up to 5,000 members by the end of the year. And it's not because YouTube will give me more money, because they don't give you money they give you money on views and the views of their advertisement, not necessarily views of my video. But I think the more people we have on this channel that are subscribers, the more chance somebody's going to know something about a case we cover, and maybe, just maybe,
Karen,
we'll have somebody.
No need to apologize.
No, hey, no
None
need
at
to
all,
apologize
because
at all.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know where
Yeah.
I know where you're coming. No, don't apologize, please. I'm just explaining it to you. I sometimes get over explaining things, but don't apologize. You were very concerned about that. But I will tell you something. I think something is fixing to happen in the Morphy case. I think within the next month, you're going to see a development. Now, do I have a reason for that? It's just some channels I've watched have indicated that they've heard something is fixing to happen. Now, it may just be a teaser to get more people to come to their channel, but I think the more it rocks on towards winter, you know, you're not going to be able to do searches. A lot of stuff's been happening. Who knows? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. I really appreciate that. We love y'all.
And we know how hard
and
it
listen,
is.
we know how it is
Yeah.
right now financially for everybody. So every penny that you give us, we cherish that. Believe me. But if you can't do it,
Don't
that's
feel
okay.
please.
Don't feel obligated. Really,
Yeah,
do
please.
not feel obligated. Please. We know it's a difficult time for everybody. You know, the COVID's got people out of work, and we know it's a very, very difficult time. And we appreciate everybody what they do for us. We really, really do. But you know, when I started reading and researching about this case, and thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that too. Thank you. Super sticker, Jackie. I appreciate that. Was that a dog? Oh, that's great. I love dogs. You see by our dogs. I got
Karen,
sleeping at my feet right now.
No, you
By
don't.
your feet. By your feet.
I was going to say, that's a box by your feet. Karen has a passion. And when you have passion, like you have a passion to find people, to help find people and bring to closure what the families are going through. And when somebody has passion, you can't shut them down.
Oh, I agree. And
You
listen,
can't.
there's nobody in this whole world that wants, other than the family of Suzanne, that wants that thing solved and the person arrested that did it. Because I believe I know who the person is, and I believe that, well, my suspicion is out there. And I believe that he will go to jail. I'll just say that. And there's never a perfect murder, and there's never a perfect crime. And unfortunately, I don't believe she's alive. You have somebody in the same way with Ashley in this case. I don't believe she's alive unless she has run off and changed her name and, all this stuff, never get fingerprints and never, you think about this. Say you want to disappear in America. You can do that. It's not illegal to disappear. But if you
Thanks,
do,
Avalon.
and they do, what? Yes, thanks, Avalon. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you. You can disappear. It's okay to disappear.
Marla. Thank you, Marla.
Marla, thank you. I sure appreciate that. I really, really do. Thank you very, very much.
Thunder said something is definitely happening.
Something's happening. I get the feeling because I see a lot of stuff in the different channels. And I watch everybody's channels because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But I think that something will develop. But it's just like this girl, Ashley, there's no doubt in my mind she's probably deceased. But I was talking about disappearing. You can disappear, but you can never give your fingerprints again. You can never claim to be yourself. You can never give DNA. You can never do a lot of things that under your old name. If you do them under a new name, that's going to catch up with you because you fingerprint you. Say you're ever arrested for anything and they fingerprint you. Today, they don't. Used to, you fingerprint somebody, it goes to FBI and it takes a long time for them to find out who you are because they have to hand search through all this stuff. Now they got a fingerprint thing called AFIS. AFIS, they put your finger down on it. This green light runs across there. They record your fingerprints in the computer, and it goes within 2 or 3 minutes. They can search FBI's total database and find out who you are. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. We feel blessed tonight for sure. And really, honestly, please don't feel like you have to do this.
Russell, thank you for your compliment. Best
Yeah,
live
that-
stream in the land. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. I did have one criticism in the mail or the comments, and I asked what did they mean, but they wouldn't explain it to me. They said, please don't tell criminals everything you know. And I'm going to tell you.
Now, you and I have talked about that with CSI and all those other things.
Well,
we have.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't share anything on this channel about law enforcement that they don't already know, I promise you, and they know lots. They watch everything, even though I can tell you this, you can't get fingerprints off of most rocks. Sure can't get it off of concrete blocks. We couldn't. Maybe some, the FBI, DEA, or something like that have something, because I've been out of law enforcement for a few years, so they may have something. But we used to get calls that people have a rock thrown through their window, and they want us to take fingerprints off of it, and it's just not going to do it, you know. Evan law enforcement did a search for the girl. They did a search for this girl on Indian reservations. The FBI did. Now, the FBI has jurisdiction if they feel the girl could be taken off the reservation. On the reservation is the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the tribal police. That's it. You know, now I know that if they have a federal investigation, say something happens out there federally, the FBI can come in. I know that because I've heard about the FBI investigating the police force being illegal or something. And yeah, I like Plunder too. Yeah, somebody said Plunder. She is a great lady. But I keep moving in my chair tonight because my back's hurting me. So pardon me.
And he doesn't have a comfortable chair.
And I don't have a comfortable chair. I've been begging my wife to let me go buy a chair. I think I'm gonna go buy at the thrift store, just buy one.
Listen, it won't fit when we move.
Yeah, maybe so. But anyway, it's a sad situation that, you know, I could find very little information about this girl. I mean, the information, the circumstances that I had was basically she disappeared. Just disappeared off the reservation. There was other things about, said nearly a year passed without a word being said about Ashley. The FBI recently, in March of 2018, began investigating her disappearance. The reward has been offered of $10,000. Thank you, Wisdom Warrior. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you. You escaped an abuser like I did? Wow, it cost me dearly. Yes, I'm glad you're alive. Absolutely. I'm telling you what, it just breaks my heart at the abuse of women. And you know, this...
Women and children.
Women and children, that's
Yes.
exactly. And I've had people ask me, why don't you cover men, you know? Well, I will cover them, but I feel like women are so vulnerable. They seem to be more women taken advantage of. A lot of men, they may be mixed up in something, or they could just disappear. But I've rarely have seen men that didn't go of their own accord. The officials performed 6 searches and 60 interviews, and they have an unnamed person of interest in the case. Well, you know what? It's 3 years ago. The unnamed person of interest, I guess, didn't have enough information. I mean, it's real easy to say we have a person of interest, but if nothing ever comes of that person of interest, you know, I'm not sure if it was ever a person of interest to begin with. I mean, I don't know. Any questions about that or any statements? I mean, listen, there is probably hundreds and or even thousands of missing women. This thing is huge. It is huge out there on those reservations. You read on there that the area that they had to search is the size of Delaware. Delaware. And there's one family trying to go out there and search. They say that, and the thing that she said, and it's understandable, they're upset. They said if a white woman goes missing, just like the, just for instance, Susan Morphy case, the brother asked for searchers. They get 1,000 people out there searching the area. They've asked for searchers and they can't get anybody. And I don't know, it's because, you know, when people think about a reservation, Indian reservation, they think that this is something from the old West. But if you drive across if you drive in Arizona, if you drive in Utah, if you drive in Montana, you probably went through a reservation somewhere out there. And the poverty, alcoholism, drug abuse, it's out there. It's prevalent out there because they don't have work. They don't have jobs. That's one thing, you know, the government wants to, you know, in the past saying that they were going to put so much stuff into the Indian reservations and they just didn't do it.
Well, they built them houses without plumbing and electricity.
Right.
What good does that do them?
Yeah. And you know, it's easy. It's easy for us, but to sit back and say, well, you know, can't blame the government. They did this, or there's a lot of us on their own. But you really need to research what's going on out there. And the fact that it's not Republicans, it's not Democrats, it's both of them. They've neglected that out there. And, you know, I think it came from the Western times when our settlers moved out towards the out West, and they had the Indian Wars, and a lot of Americans were killed, and the image of them attacking settlers and all this. But you got to understand this. This was their land, their country before we got here. And there's actually a T-shirt I've seen. It has a bunch of the Indian fighters here on it, and it says, "We've been fighting terrorism since 1860s or something like that, or 1840s." But what it is political. It's very political. You know, it's not. I don't even think. You know, if somebody tell me that maybe that is Indian or part Indian, do they vote for representatives in our country? Because they are really, a reservation is an entity of their self.
Can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. Caboose Music said Tube, Crime, and Plunder pulled all the Morphy videos, but it's a crime and Drapers are still up. Why?
I have no idea. Tube Crime pulled them all, and Plunder pulled them all? Well, I know Plunder does not keep all of her videos online. I've noticed that. We tried. I have a 16 terabyte hard drive, and I keep all my videos, but I try to keep all my videos online. I will pay to do that.
Wisdom.
I don't know. Wisdom Warrior, thank you so much. I really, really do.
Yes, Indians lose their spirit when the government intervenes.
Yes. But can you tell me if they can vote in national elections? Do you know if they can or not? Thank you again. That was awful nice of you. I really do appreciate that. Can they vote in national elections? I wish if somebody knew that. Tube is off. What is that? What do you mean tube is off?
I think they're saying that.
I have not heard anything unless they have. I don't know.
Made.
I will call.
Plunder made them all private, is what one thing says.
Why? I don't know. Left all Chris Watts and other older ones on. You know, I don't know. I tell you what I will do, though. I will try to find out. I have Plunder's email, and I will send her an email and try to find out if. Okay, you say all of her videos? Yeah, I don't know why the others pulled them. I don't, unless that they're, you know, somebody's I don't know why. He shut his channel down. Tooth Crime did? Wow. He was up last night. I watched one of his things. That's odd. If he, I have his email also. I will send him a email. I have not. I'm not going to let him scare me away. I haven't done anything for them to shut down my channel. If they want to, they can do whatever they want to. I have a lawyer that is a friend of mine, and he is my former partner in narcotics, and he has told me anything I need that all I have to do is call him. And I have
because of slander, they heard.
Slander?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't, that's why you always express it's your opinion. I don't know what he supposedly said that slandered. I haven't heard anything. He may have had a lawyer write him a letter, a threatening letter or something, Thank you, Wisdom Warrior. I tell you what, if you were right here, we'd hug your neck. I appreciate it. I noticed that Barry took his house off the market. He had it on the market. Now it's off the market. I don't know what that's about. Is Profiling Evil still on? Do they have their stuff? Tooth Crime said personal. They contacted him personally or something? Or he maybe has something issue he's dealing with personally. He may do it. Who's the other one? Plunder and you said Tooth Crime and Plunder. I will check it out. I'll send him an email and see what's up. That's wild, though. I don't know anything about that. I did watch something he put up yesterday. Yeah, PE is still up. Yeah, here's the way personal reasons, okay? Here's the way I look at it. We're quasi-news. We don't really report the news.
They said that Plunder we've posted most of all Morphe videos now. They were gone for a while.
Okay. We can say there's a statute that says basically that you can express your First Amendment. You can express your opinion about anything, and it doesn't, as long as you don't slander them, as long as you don't call them, say outright that he's guilty, or you can say, you know what, in my opinion, he's guilty. Or you can say, in my opinion, the evidence is like this. You're expressing your opinion just like you can do. Now, if Barry is what we call a public figure now. He has made himself out to be a public figure. So a public figure does not have as many rights as a normal citizen. If all of a sudden I start reporting on my neighbor over here and I say something about him, then he could sue me if I say something slanderous. But a lot of times public figures, you can say, that's why so many people can talk. You can talk about your governor, the president, the vice president. You can talk about Biden, Trump, all of them. You can talk about all of them. You can say how, you can call them names. You can do anything. You can say they're into everything. You know what? They can't sue you. Why? Because they're public figures. Now, if say they had a business and they were public figures, say the guy that does all the cooking stuff, I can't think of his name. You go out there and slander his restaurant, that's something different because you're affecting his livelihood. But he, like, what is the guy that does all the cooking? He's got the funny name, Grande, whatever his name is. Anyway, if I talked about, or Martha Stewart, if I said something about a restaurant, if I said, oh, I ate there last Saturday night, man, got food poisoning, that I saw the cook do this or that, then she could sue me because I'm affecting her business. But if I just say, I saw Martha Stewart and I know her, she's into this or that, no. Thank you so much.
Cisse.
Cisse? Is it Cisse? Sissy Yang? I'll get it right in a minute. Sissy,
Oh, God.
thank you very much. Is that, what country are you from or nationality? Beautiful dog, by the way. What I apologize for butchering your name too. I appreciate that gift too. But reason why I say our daughter is, like we talked about, she's Korean. We adopted her from Korea, and
You're kidding.
and her Korean name, we know her Korean name, but
It was Hae Kyun Yoon.
Hae Kyun Yoon.
And I have a brother
Yeah.
from Korea
Yeah.
who was Kim Yong Jun.
Kim Yong Jun. There's only 3 or 4. I think there's only like 5 names in Korea.
5 last names.
5 last names. Yeah, defamation is that's right. You can, if you're a public figure, there's not much, they can't sue you. I mean, if they could, oh my gosh, they'd be people sued on the internet every single day and on the news agencies every single day. But if you're a public figure, now I've heard some people say that Barry has made himself into a public figure because he goes out on the news and he puts himself in the limelight. Who knows? Philippines? Wow, awesome.
Well, she may not be in the Philippines.
You may not be in the Philippines now. Are you in the Philippines now? Where did I miss that at? Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. Are you in the Philippines now, Sissy? Maybe she'll tell me in a minute. My dad, actually, when he was in World War II, spent a enormous time in the Philippines and loved the Filipino people. Absolutely loved them. Has a lot of pictures from the Philippines. He met a lot of Filipinos over there. So thank you, Marla. Thank you so much, Marla. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Jane, thank you. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Listen, y'all don't have to do this. We feel blessed that you are, but we don't want to make you feel like you have to. I really appreciate
Please
that.
don't feel like you have to.
No. We feel actually kind of guilty, at times. But yeah, I believe that I'll contact Two Crime and find out, make sure he's okay too, How many of you went over and checked out Ventures with a Purpose? Oh, you're in Colorado, Miss Sissy. Wow, awesome. That is awesome. We hope to actually visit Colorado this next year. We got some things going on after the first year that we'll be sharing with y'all. Pretty exciting news. I know that's kind of a throwing out there, and we got a few months away, but we really can't elaborate on that yet. We have 2 adopted kids. Our son is in Nashville. He's got some big news coming up.
Singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter.
And yes, he is good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his mom.
Yes, he's good. And so he may have some big news coming out very soon. We're praying everything works out right for him, but there's some big news in his life that may be coming out. I can't share right now, though. And our daughter actually lives outside of Milwaukee, is married to a great guy. They've been married about, how many, 8 years?
Yep.
8 years, it's hard to believe. And a super good guy, great cook.
Oh, yeah.
Cooks a mean steak. And he loves my daughter, and that's all that matters. And she is an accountant, and he is an accountant. So they like to travel. They go overseas, a lot of stuff.
And I think my husband would agree. If we knew then what we know now, we would have adopted all 10 of the kids I wanted.
Yeah, we would have adopted a lot more. At the time, it does cost money to adopt and stuff. And
we'd have figured out how to feed them.
We'd have figured it out. We've been very blessed in our life, and we would have figured it out now.
We got our daughter when she was 7 months old, and we got our son when he was 12 hours old.
Yeah.
And one of my husband's high school friends, who is a marine biologist, asked when he met Mindy, she was 2, he asked how we taught her how to speak English. And we said, well, we got her when she was 7 months old. And
Yeah,
he
it's
said,
not
yeah,
like
but
she could-
how did you teach her to speak English?
She didn't speak anything. But our kids are alive, and we've actually probably helped raise several others that live with us from time to time at our house. One was a preacher he worked for my wife and actually lived with us, and he turned up to be a minister after that. And then a couple other girls that lived in our house for 10 to 15 years for whatever reasons. And it was just, our house was always filled with kids all the time.
Yes, and I
So,
loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then after everybody moved out, it was like, wow, we're empty nesters.
But that's not bad either. I'm
no,
enjoying
I mean,
the empty nest.
Yeah, we still, when we do good travel and stuff, we'll stay with our friends.
I enjoy my husband still after 48 years.
48 years. I'm going to show you something. This right here is, what is this, Dina? You tell me what this is. What is this?
Turn it a little bit on the side. It's pear preserves I made last night while we were online, talking on live.
Pear preserves. Only thing, see, I can't eat these right now, so it's not fair. It's not.
It's in my
fair.
genes. I'm sorry.
It's not fair.
I can't help myself.
I can't do it. Thank you so much there, Miss Tammy. Thank you very much. That was sweet of you. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm really trying to lose weight with this keto, and you just cannot eat any sugar at all.
Well, at least
It's
you
like-
haven't dug into the coconut cake I made for my brother for his birthday.
I know, it's terrible. You would know. Listen, I love coconut cake. It's one of my favorite things, but I got to. Can't do it.
Y'all, when people tell us thank you or think that we're great for adopting our children, listen, we
Listen,
got
it's
so much more
yeah.
from our children.
It was a blessing
Oh
to
my,
us.
yes.
I'm truly blessed.
Yes.
Now, my girl calls me Grouch a lot. She calls me Grouch, and I call her Grouch, but we laugh about it. It's just a nickname we call each other. And she'll get on the phone and say, "How you doing, Grouch?" I said, "Not too bad, Grouch. How you doing?" And I kid her about when she got married. She no longer just said yes to everything I needed from her. She actually said no. And I couldn't get used to the no word. So I tell her husband, "How many times does she say no?" And he says, "You don't want to know." So, but I got great kids, great son-in-law.
Okay, is somebody
But,
is somebody fussing on here?
Is somebody fussing? Please don't fuss.
Please don't. We have such great groups.
Yes,
Please
we
don't
do.
fuss.
I figure I actually consider y'all my extended family. So please don't fuss. Is there something that we need to?
Did we say something wrong?
Did I say something wrong?
It'd be me. It wouldn't be you.
I don't know.
CJ, I wish I could send you a bottle. I mean, not a bottle, a jar. A jar.
A jar. But yeah, she also gives away a lot of stuff up here. Grumpy and skinny. Yeah.
You got some grumpy.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna go to my doctor on what day is that?
Monday.
Monday, I've got a doctor's appointment. Actually, got 2 of my doctor's appointments. One, just a regular checkup, nothing big. They're gonna look at my blood work and tell me if I'm good or bad. And she's gonna comment on my weight. I hope I can get down about 5 more pounds. And then I'm gonna go see my other doctor.
Crimea
which is
River.
my-
Come on, we'll adopt you
my
too.
back doctor, but I don't see him about every 6 months, so it's not like I got to go all the time. Diet, yeah, I agree. Diets are torture. They are very, very torture now. But I did keto for almost a year solid, so it is possible. And one thing, and I know we're getting off topic and a lot of stuff, but I'll just tell you this: there was a while there I was eating 3 to 4 eggs every day, every single day. It was all had people bring me eggs from their chickens and everything, not buying store eggs. And then all of a sudden they come out with this thing on TV. The Heart Association says if you eat 1 egg a week, you're going to die. And you have this whole thing about the death rate and your cholesterol is going to be a million points, and man, it scared me to death. So I slowed down a little bit, but I was losing weight, and I'm talking about it was falling off of me. So I finally went and had my cholesterol checked, and my doctor said, your good cholesterol is through the roof. Your bad cholesterol is the lowest I've ever seen it. So your cholesterol is perfect. And I said, well, I'm eating 4 eggs a day. She said, I'll do it. Said the risk of your weight on you, it outweighs the risk of you eating eggs. And anyway, your cholesterol is perfect. So I don't, I have to, sometimes when I look at this stuff, it's like I took a DNA test for Ancestry.com, but I did one also for 23andMe. And they come out with this health assessment for your 23andMe. One thing they said was that I was least likely to have kidney stones. I've had 55 kidney stones. I lost count at 55. So I don't know if they checked somebody else or they checked me. It was weird. So I don't believe anything that DNA says about that.
Jackie, I'm with you. I'm on a seafood diet. If I see it and I like it, I eat it.
Yeah, it doesn't help if she's eating something I really enjoy eating and I can't have it. That's the thing. But
no,
she does try. She does try.
I do try. We do not smoke. We never have.
Well, I did when I was growing up about 16 or 17. I tried cigarettes, I know you haven't. I tried it because I thought I was cool. And I did drink. I drank all the way. I did drink, and I drank in college, and I actually drank after college. While I was in law enforcement, I did drink mostly beer. But I haven't drank per se anything probably in 30 years. I might have a little glass of wine, or I might have a half of a beer and that's a blue moon because I take medicine that counteracts with it. But I'm going to tell you what my doctor told me the other day. I go to a doctor up here in nearby for something else, and I have to see him every couple of months just to talk to him. And he asked me, do you drink? And I said, no, I don't. He said, well, I see it. I love labs. I'll try a place I got for him. I said, I would drink a little wine because my wife makes it, but I take this medicine. I'm afraid it's going to interact with it. And he looked at it and he said, no. I said, if you want to drink a glass of wine before you go to bed, do it. And so I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, somebody said their arteries are clogging. I eat a lot of bacon because I like bacon. And so if anybody ever says anything to me about the bacon grease being bad for you, I just tell them it keeps my heart from squeaking.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I haven't had anything. Me and her both have had great reports on our blood work.
Amy, if you want to lower your cholesterol, mine runs a little bit high. If you want to lower your cholesterol, hit me up on the Missing live stream at Gmail, and I will give you some recipes for fresh juices that you can drink. I did it, and it dropped my cholesterol 50 points.
Yeah, she had a little bit high cholesterol, and she did her blood work again, and the doctor said, what? Your blood work, your cholesterol dropped 50 points. What did you do?
I drank an 8-ounce glass.
She said, I drank an 8-ounce glass of this mixed juice that she drinks once a day. And
it's fresh juice. Fresh juice,
fresh,
fruits and vegetables.
You make it. But 3 a.m., my goodness, where are you at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Is that Australia?
Sorry, I'm late, 3 a.m.
Is that in Australia?
Is that Australia?
Forget where MH is from.
I forget.
We're not real good.
I think Australia, or maybe Australia. I would like to ask you to please share our channel. If you can't, you know what? That is the biggest way to support our channel. Thank you, Marla. I sure appreciate it. I really, really do. Yeah, it does. It does. I agree with you. Thank you very much. The biggest way to support our channel is to share it. You know, I tell the story all the time about it was like the the last of October, fixing to be September.
Johannesburg.
And
MH is in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, wow, Africa or
South Africa.
South Africa, wow, that's awesome. Europe, Marlena Walsh, Europe, it's great. How on the last of October I said I wanted to be 1,000 subscribers by the end of September, and you guys put me over 1,000 subscribers in 2 days. So I know that it's out there, and I'm blown away by that. I really am. But what I'm asking you, if you could share the channel, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Still running about 22% of the people that watch this are not subscribed, and I would ask you to please consider subscribing. Johannesburg and Queensland, Australia. Wow, beautiful countries, both of them, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I hope someday I'll be able to visit both of those countries and both of the regions. I told the story to someone I talked to the other day, and I apologize for forgetting your name. I don't want to mention it. Scotland, wow. England, but I'm Irish. Yes, I'm Irish and English, so I'm mixed. Scotland here, wow. I'm Scottish. Got a bunch of Scottish blood in me. What was I talking about?
You need a B12 shot.
I need something.
A B12 shot.
I lost my train of thought. I can't remember. But I do have we have a best friend from Australia. He lives in Australia, and he loves it over there. He's never going to move back to the U.S.
He's
a minister over there.
A
He's
missionary.
He plants churches in Malaysia and those countries up in there. When I heard about that Malaysian plane that crashed, went missing, scared me to death. I had to call him on Skype, try to verify that him and his family is okay, because he's always flying over in that region. What is it? What time is it where we are?
It's 8.
It's 8 o'clock where we are. We're on Central Time Zone.
8:03 to be exact.
Yeah, we're in the Central Time Zone. Adventure with a Purpose we'll be in Colorado to find Superman. That's great. Listen, go visit his channel. Awesome channel. Those guys are, they're doing stuff, finding vehicles and all kinds of stuff. It's
Hey,
just
Mandy, don't be
really
embarrassed to say you're from New York. I got a feeling. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
We have a young man that's staying with us now for a while, and he takes care of our dogs a lot. We love being around him. He is
Vietnamese, but he was born in America.
He's born in America. His family's from New York. He lived in New York for a while, so we're learning all the different cultural things. We plan on helping him get back to New York if he wants to go in a few months. But we're going to get into all that later on. I'm not going to get into it now.
But y'all will meet Michael. He's a wonderful young man.
Michael's a great guy.
We
And
call him our
also
son.
a little heads up. I met a father today. He's got a 10-year-old boy. He's had all kinds of heart surgery. He was born with some defect. He's had just amazing, just a ton of surgeries. He wants to be a YouTube star. So I told him we're not YouTube stars, but I would gladly have him come on one night. I would put him here and beside me, show him the light, show him the camera, show him how that you can talk to him online and that we're live. And he said he's shy. I said, tell him don't be shy. We got a bunch of friends here. And I'm going to let him sit with me, and we're going to talk for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then he's going to be excused because I don't want to have him exposed to some of the stuff we talk about as far as not being the happiest things in the world. But I'm going to have him right here with me to really just kind of
Kim said it's being reported that missing children from Memphis have been found in Miami. Praise God. I bet that's the Marshals again.
Awesome.
Y'all, the Marshals are
man.
doing it, man.
U.S. Marshals, great service. Got a lot of friends in the Marshals. It's 5 p.m. here in Alaska. Where in Alaska are you? We have friends in Palmer, Alaska. He's a youth minister in Palmer, Alaska. hasn't got involved in the Morphy case. The Texas, I don't know why they didn't. The horse guys, the EquuSearch, is it? I don't know if maybe because that terrain is so rocky, it'd be very difficult for horses to go up and down those mountains.
Denise
maybe.
says they've got to be invited.
Oh, they got to be invited. I don't know that Andy did not invite them. I think one thing it would be that he didn't see any horses at all hardly in that search. I think it's because the terrain is so rocky. You know, horses don't do well in real rocky terrain. I mean, I've ridden horses before and I actually got thrown several times. But the one time I got thrown, I had Mindy, my girl, on. She's about, 6? And I had her in front of me, and we were riding our horse through this field, and the horse hit a rock on the front and dropped, and me and her went straight over it. I put my hand out and caught myself, and it was a plowed-like field, and she was not injured. She cried because the horse stepped on her jacket, and it kind of felt like she couldn't move. But, yeah, Palmer. You're in Palmer? Please, you in Palmer? Tell me if you're in Palmer.
That's what she said. She's in.
Oh my gosh, he is a youth minister
in Palmer.
In Palmer, yeah, they live outside of Willa and Palmer.
Oh, wow.
David and Siobhan are their first names. And,
we love them.
Yeah, and actually I wish I knew the name of the church. I think it's a non-denominational church there in Palmer. They're youth ministers there. That's awesome. That is really awesome. We hope to be in Alaska. We hope to come to Alaska next year. We're going to do it. We're going to drive up the Alaskan highway.
Well, and we're going to be in Maine and follow the leaves down.
Yeah, one or the other. 1 or 2 years we'll be up there. I hope to do Alaska.
We were supposed to do it at our 30th wedding anniversary, but Thomas's dad fell and broke his leg, and so we kind of put it off until.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my name is Thomas, but I go by Tommy, Tom, you, that guy over there, or whatever. I'll answer just about anything.
We won't tell him what I call you, my sweetheart.
You live in the mountains near the Matsu Glacier?
Very good. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Wow, that is awesome. I know it's beautiful because I watch every show I can about Alaska, so I know it's beautiful up there for sure. Well, listen, we did a short one tonight when I thought we'd be the long one.
Christina, I knew it. I knew they were going to be beautiful this year. The leaves, they're turning here beautiful too.
Yeah, and then
post some pictures. Send us some pictures.
Send us some pictures.
My gosh.
We love that. We actually, for about 5 years, would go up to the Shenandoah Valley and drive our car down the Shenandoah Drive, hit the Blue Ridge Parkway, and take the Blue Ridge Parkway all the way down into Tennessee.
We did that like 5 years in a row, but
and then
never saw the colors like we
never saw
expected.
that. And I don't know if they were, they say just the weather has to be perfect for that to happen.
It's been that way this year.
But Maine is of course.
Lady Justice says story time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We tend towards the last of any of these things, I think. And it's okay. Hey, we enjoy talking to you as much as I hope we enjoy hearing from us. Maybe the church on the rock.
Tell her I'll look just real quick.
Hold on just a minute. She is going to look up David and Siobhan's place. And they're just super people. If you can go out and tell them that you watch us, and they've been at our house a lot. They're friends with my daughter, and they're just really just super people. But we need to take, I challenge y'all. I challenge you one thing. I challenge you while we're waiting for Friday to get here, that send me some more stuff on the email if you got something we need. Somebody mentioned the glass case, that they did a search, I think, today on that. I will touch on that. I was thinking that she got found, but apparently she did not.
He works, I'm sorry, he works at King's Cathedral, no, King's Chapel, Alaska. Pastor at King's, wait a minute. Yeah, but he's in Alaska, Wasilla, Alaska.
Is that
He lived in Palmer. He lives at
Palmer. I guess he moved to Wasilla.
Wasilla.
But
Oh,
I
he's
think
up there
they're
with
kind of
Sarah.
real close to each other, Wasilla and Palmer, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to send him a message and ask him what church is he at.
But I challenge you to go and research about these women that are missing. And look, we can't cover them all. I mean, really, there's like, I want to say 30,000 in the last few years that have been missing, and there's nothing that you can find out about them. Marla, Craig, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want you to
Thank you.
remember, if you know of any American Indians or Native Americans that know anything about the boarding schools and everything that they went through, please have them to look that up on Google and get in touch with some people that are trying to get the history, because in just one school, for there to be 238 graves, that they're digging the bones up. The U.S. government is digging the bones up, and they're letting the Native Americans take them back to their land. But this was awful, what was done to these American Indian children, and we need to make sure that, that they get some closure too.
All right, well, we're going to go.
Well,
I'm going to
what's the
go.
story?
I'm going to go. We're going to go. And
Maggie.
Maggie's too big today.
He's no fun tonight, guys. I don't know what's wrong with him.
But we're going to go, and I want y'all to try to do some research on that. I'm going to keep up with everything else. I've been checking on past cases. I don't find anything more on Leah Cavitt's case. I don't find any new words on Natalie Jones, other than they found her body. But I haven't heard any of the autopsy results yet on that. I'd be interested to find out if it was a murder or not, or how she died. I haven't heard anything on Stephanie Hollingsworth, other than she is still missing and the family is still searching. I have not found out anything again on Susan Morphew.
Hey.
I did look prior to coming on, and I haven't found anything. I'm going to take off these things because I know people love to see our dogs. Oh, come on. What the heck? They had to go to the vet yesterday or today. But they don't see the doggy.
You hold on for a little bit.
No.
I
Don't you think she looks like Yoda?
think she looks like Yoda.
I think she looks a little bit like Yoda.
Okay.
All right, come here.
Cover Maggie.
Cover it, Maggie. Oh, goodness gracious.
No, come on. Get in there. Cover.
Cover. Oh, goodness gracious.
Look, I need to put down a bit.
She doesn't know what
Give him
a dog
sugar. Oh, give him sweet. Yes. I wish y'all could see her. If I started hollering that
No.
Tommy's trying to get me,
Anybody tries to get her, she
comes after him.
She comes after him. I could be sitting on the couch. That's all I'm doing.
Minding his own business.
Minding my own business, and
I'll be in the
watching TV,
kitchen.
and she wants to get the dog on top of me. She goes, "Don't let me get me! Don't let him get me!" And she'll tear out in there and jump on me. Okay, I'm gonna play my outro here, and hope to see y'all Friday. And we'll keep our eye on everything. I'm gonna check on Tube Crime to see if I can get a hold of him or his brother and find out what's going on. And yeah, hey, you know what? If you're a believer, pray for him. That's all. I think if something personal is going on, prayer is the ultimate option, in my opinion. And I'm just not ashamed of my religion or my belief, and that's just how it is. If I know that people say, "Well, I got some girl that said, the minute you mentioned God, that was enough for me." I'm sorry. But anyway, see you Friday. God bless you. Stay safe. And we hope to see you Friday. And I look forward to your emails. Good night.